When most people were focused on their New Year's Eve plans on December 31st, 2025, an Instagram post from a user known as Mr. Danya of began a different kind of countdown. The video began a viral conspiracy theory that claimed on August 12, 2026, the Earth would experience a gravitational anomaly, that there would be a total loss of gravity lasting exactly 7 seconds. The post claimed that NASA was aware of this event and had been preparing for it since 2019 under a classified initiative called Project Anchor. By mid-January 2026, the story had migrated to TikTok, finding its most potent spreader in a user named Fiery by Nature. Her videos spread like digital wildfire. They explained the claim using a cocktail of distorted physics, leaked whistleblower memos, and the reality of a total solar eclipse that's scheduled for that day in August. To a casual doom scroller, it looked like a high-level leak of an impending apocalypse. But to scientists, it was the latest mutation of a decades-old hoax that has been optimized for the era of the algorithm and AI slop. The 7-second gravity blackout is misinformation. It takes the invisible force of gravity and reimagines it as a glitchy software system that can be switched off. This theory is an intersection of astrophysics, radio pranks, and the ecosystem of engagement farming, where fear is used to spread social media posts for engagement, attention, and money. Exhibit A of the story is the Project Anchor document. According to the videos, it's a leaked 2024 NASA memo detailing an $89 billion budget dedicated to surviving a momentary gravitational collapse. There's a whole bunch of numbers in this document. They're supposed to overwhelm you. $89 billion, a 94.7 probability of occurrence, and a casualty estimate ranging from 40 million to as high as 850 million people. The idea of an $89 billion budget is kind of a tell that this is BS. Large sums of money are supposed to validate these types of conspiracy theories. And this theory suggests that this money was diverted from public infrastructure and health programs to build a network of deep underground bunkers. These bunkers are not for the general public, but for essential personnel and selected citizens with genetic diversity. Of course, when you look into these claims, there's no evidence. Fact checkers at Snopes have found zero records of any Project Anchor within NASA's historical or current project lists. Also, NASA spokespeople have clarified that the agency does not have authority or the secret budget to construct a global bunker network as has been described in the social media videos. The Fiery by Nature videos cite a whistleblower who escaped the Project Anchor facility. This character is a member of the Basement podcast and other fringe media outlets that argue that anti-gravity technology has existed since the 1960s. These stories link the 2026 gravity blackout to a wider web of conspiracies, including, of course, the JFK assassination and ancient aliens, suggesting that 7 seconds isn't a natural disaster, but a test of a government-controlled anti-gravity weapon. To a regular person, the idea of gravity turning off might seem plausible in a universe where people have seen astronauts floating or wanted to go to space camp. However, physics says otherwise. Gravity is not a force that's transmitted like a radio signal. It's part of the curvature of space-time itself. For Earth's gravity to turn off, the mass of the Earth would have to disappear or be moved instantly. Gravity is inherent to mass. Gravity is part of mass. As long as the Earth exists, as long as it remains in place, it will curve the space around it, and we will experience that curvature as the downward pull of gravity. The Project Anchor theory attempts to sound scientific by claiming that the blackout will be caused by the intersection of two gravitational waves from black holes. The idea is that these waves will create a pattern of destructive interference that cancels out the Earth's gravity. And while it's true that gravitational waves can interfere with each other, they are ripples on top of the background curvature of space-time. They don't cancel gravity itself. Imagine a magnet and a radio wave. A magnet has a magnetic field. A radio transmitter sends out electromagnetic waves. You cannot cancel the pull of a magnet by hitting it with a radio wave. The probability of 94.7% is highly specific. And this is an example of data laundering. In scientific literature, 95% is a common threshold for statistical significance. And many papers regarding black hole mergers use 95%. The creators of the Project Anchor hoax probably took these numbers from legitimate astrophysics papers, stripped away the context, and applied them to make up some doomsday scenario. These viral TikToks describe the 7 seconds with cinematic detail, intending to stoke a specific kind of psychological fear. The timeline looks like this. Seconds 1 to 2, immediate weightlessness. People begin to drift upward from their beds or the pavement. Seconds 3 to 5, acceleration. Without gravity, any slight movement of the Earth's rotation causes people to rise a height of 15 to 20 meters. Seconds 6 to 7, the gravity return. Gravity abruptly reinstates and everyone in the air slams back to Earth at terminal velocity. Ouch. If we actually took the theory's hypothetical premise and ran with it, the results are actually much worse than just floating 20 meters. If gravity stopped being there, we wouldn't drift, we would launch. The Earth rotates at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, and we don't feel this pull because gravity keeps us anchored to the ground as it turns. If gravity vanished, our momentum would carry us in a straight line while the Earth surfaced curved away beneath us. But the bigger issue would, of course, be the Earth's atmosphere is held in place by gravity. Without it, the pressure of the air would cause it to expand into the vacuum of space at supersonic speeds. As that happened, the internal pressure of the Earth's core, which is no longer compressed by the weight of the Earth's crust, would cause massive seismic events or a total planetary expansion. You wouldn't be floating peacefully in the air. There would be a planetary explosion. The most terrifying part of the Fiery by Nature story is the return of gravity. The theory claims that after 7 seconds, gravity slams back on. If a person has drifted 20 meters into the air, they then fall that distance. A fall from 20 meters would take approximately 2 seconds, and the result would be the impact velocity of about 45 miles per hour, which is more than enough to be fatal. The conspiracy uses the physics here to justify the estimate of 40 to 850 million casualties, focusing on those caught outdoors, in cars, or near buildings that would collapse under their own weight once gravity returned. This 2026 gravity blackout theory is set to occur on August 12th, 2026, which is the same date that a total solar eclipse will pass over the northern hemisphere. The eclipse will be the first total eclipse visible from mainland Europe since 1999. Its path will start in Siberia, cross the Arctic Ocean, Greenland, and Iceland before sweeping across northern Spain and ending in the Mediterranean. Conspiracy theorists love eclipses because they are visually dramatic and create a world-altering feeling even for those who understand the science. By combining the gravity blackout to the eclipse, Fiery by Nature ensures that any search for the 2026 eclipse will lead users towards her videos. This is called keyword hijacking. People searching for August 12, 2026 to plan their vacation to Spain to watch the eclipse will instead see videos about underground bunkers and Project Anchor. To add to the mysticism of the date, the 2026 eclipse will occur during a period of high solar activity. In northern Russia and parts of the Arctic, there is a chance the aurora borealis will be visible simultaneously with the eclipsed sun. To the conspiracy theorist, it's evidence of the gravitational waves and dark matter amplification mentioned in the Project Anchor documents. Of course, the 7-second gravity blackout theory isn't new. It's a reboot of one of the most famous media pranks in history, the Jovian-Plutonian gravitational effect. On April 1st, 1976, the legendary British astronomer Patrick Moore took to the airwaves on BBC Radio. He told listeners that at 9:47 a.m., Pluto would pass directly behind Jupiter, creating a rare gravitational alignment that would temporarily counteract the Earth's gravity. He invited listeners to jump in the air at that precise moment to experience a strange floating sensation. Despite the fact that Pluto's gravity at that distance is less than the pull of a fly sitting on your shoulder, the prank worked perfectly. Within minutes, the BBC was flooded with calls from people claiming they had floated around their rooms or felt their heads hit the ceiling. One woman even reported that she and 11 friends had been wafted from their chairs. Since 1976, this hoax has been recycled every few years. In the early 2010s, it circulated on Facebook as Zero Gravity Day on January 4th. Each time that this hoax comes out, the date changes, the planets involved changed, but the core hook remains the same. Jump at this time to float. But this version is a bit more sophisticated. It's not a lighthearted prank, it has the tone of a government cover-up. And it's changed planetary alignment with black hole gravitational waves. It's added the threat of Project Anchor bunkers and millions of deaths. There's been a broader change in the internet's conspiracy culture, moving from, hey, isn't space neat, to they are trying to kill us. So why would Fiery by Nature and others spread this claim that's so easily debunked? Well, social media. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram prioritize watch time and shares. A video that claims gravity is turning off and you need a bunker triggers an immediate emotional response: fear and curiosity. Users share the video to warn their friends or comment on it to debunk it. To the algorithm, a comment saying this is fake is just as valuable as one saying I'm scared. Both signify engagement, which pushes the video to more people. Looking at the accounts spreading the Project Anchor rumor, it shows a lot of traits of engagement farms. They're anonymous. The creators rarely show their faces or use their real names. They use AI tools. The scripts are often written by large language models, and the voices are generated by AI text-to-speech software. There are contradictory profiles. As Snopes has noted with Mr. Danya of, the same account may claim to be a doctor, a scientist, and a whistleblower within the same week. And these accounts have monetization. The accounts are linked to survival gear stores, prepper newsletters, or use TikTok's creativity program to earn money from the millions of views generated by the panic. A major part of the 7-second blackout theory is the existence of the Anchor Network, a series of underground bunkers supposedly built to house the global elite during the 7 seconds of weightlessness. In late 2025, a second viral trend emerged: the leaked bunker locations. TikTok users shared lists of coordinates claiming they were entrances to NASA-funded Project Anchor facilities. Many of these coordinates pointed to mundane locations, such as a Marshall's store in a shopping center in Austin, Texas. A Marshall's is the perfect junior anchor space for a deep underground facility because it provides cover for large-scale deliveries. People are seeing patterns in this random data. To a believer, a coming soon sign for a fried chicken restaurant could actually be code for bunker entrance open soon. The claim that these bunkers are for those with genetic diversity or high IQ is particularly problematic. This story sort of taps into Great Reset style conspiracies, suggesting that the government is using the gravity blackout as a culling event to remove non-essential people from the population. It turns this hoax into a political weapon, encouraging distrust of the government. The 7-second blackout theory of August 12, 2026 is fiction. It's a sophisticated AI-enhanced evolution of a 50-year-old radio prank. It's designed to exploit the algorithms and the visual drama of a real solar eclipse. As August 12, 2026 approaches, it's certain that more leaked documents and whistleblower testimonies will appear. There may even be people who claim to have floated during the eclipse just as they did in 1976. But the reality remains anchored. See what I did there? The Earth will continue to pull us downward. The atmosphere will stay in place, and the only blackout will be a 2-minute shadow of the moon passing over the Spanish coast. The real danger of the 7-second blackout is our loss of shared reality. In the ecosystem of the algorithms, a 7-second clip can override years of scientific education. The gravity of our situation is that misinformation has become weightless, floating effortlessly into the minds of millions, regardless of truth. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like and share this video. If you'd like to support this channel, you can become a member of the channel. I would appreciate you considering that. You can also support me by continuing to watch my videos, and I do appreciate you watching my videos. And please stay spooky.